Everlywell offers over 30 plus at-home lab tests like food sensitivity, thyroid health, metabolism, testosterone tests, and more. And each Everlywell test is shipped to your door and comes with easy-to-follow instructions, so you can collect your sample from your own home, which I so wish I could have done years ago. And once you send your sample back, it's processed in a certified lab. So your results are reviewed by a board-certified physician, then they're sent directly to you digitally within days, and you can even share them with your healthcare provider so you don't have to remember all the details. For 20% off an Everlywell at-home lab test, visit everlywell.com/Jeannie and enter code Jeannie. That's everlywell.com/Jeannie, code Jeannie, Jeannie, for 20% off your test. Everlywell at-home lab tests. Your answers, your way. So I've been trying to get a lot more holistic with all the products in my house, from things I eat to even beauty items that I use. But I can't nail a good tasting natural toothpaste. They always taste so weird and funky. I don't like it when they're made out of flavors that are not mentholated. And they don't leave my teeth feeling super clean. So I am thrilled to tell you about Himalaya Botanique, which I just found out about. And it's a natural toothpaste that ditches the SLS and the artificial flavors, but it feels so good, leaves your mouth feeling super clean. And it's free from fluoride, SLS, and artificial colors, like I said, and flavors. But unlike other similar toothpaste, they don't compromise on flavor or performance. So Himalaya toothpaste is always bursting with foam and flavor. I love it. The best part, you can get 20% off your first purchase on Amazon with my discount code, Jeannie20. Hit up Amazon and enjoy 20% off your first purchase of Himalaya Botanique toothpaste using code Jeannie20 when you check out at Amazon.
Listen, honey, listen, honey. Listen, honey, listen, honey.
Listen, Hunnay! Everybody, I hope you're having such an amazing week. My week is about to get so much better right now because I'm telling you, I am so excited about our next guests. Let me just start off by saying that I'm that girl that only watches reality television if there's something worth watching. I have not gotten into The Real Housewives, or not really followed The Bachelor. But when I heard of this next show, I could not wait to peel apart the characters and the story behind it because it was so close to home. And I am talking about House of Ho, the HBO Max original that's going to premiere this Thursday, December 10th on HBO Max. Yo, first of all, to have a reality series that is featured on an Asian family, let alone a Vietnamese family, let alone a successful, breathing, thriving Vietnamese family. I am so honored and high-key curious about how this all came together. So welcome to the room right now. I have the members of the House of Ho in the house, live and direct. I've got Judy, I've got Washington, I've got Leslie, and I've got Aunt Tina in the house. Hi, guys.
Hi. Glad to be here.
Yes, it's good to see you guys. I feel like I should also just, in Vietnamese, we say hello, but we also ciao. And I don't know who's older or who's younger than me, but I want to say ciao co, ciao an, ciao am. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I'm so proud. So I personally heard of this project because after the success of so many other Asian, projects and shows that we saw in media and television, we still haven't had a family that we got to showcase. So the House of Ho the idea of featuring a Vietnamese family or an Asian family in success has been around for a long time, but no network has actually been able to do it. So how did you guys get approached with the idea?
I first heard about it through a friend of mine from California. She's one of the co-EPs, Rosalina, gave me a call.
Shout out to Rosalina, who happens to be a mutual friend of ours. Right. And when you heard about it, were you like, okay, I'm not into TV and being, featured in a reality series. Like, what came through your mind?
When I first heard about it, I was like, what do I have to do? And, she was like, just be yourself. And I said, which version of Washington do you want?
That part.
I can't go back to my 20s when you think I'm interesting, because I'm married now and I would be single pretty quickly if I was like that. And she's like, no, we're going to watch how you're going to grow up. And I'm like, I'm 37. I'm not going to show people that side of me. And, as we talked more, she made me realize that I was doing something for a higher purpose. That purpose was to open up doors for other Vietnamese that have worked really hard, such as yourself, to be in this media industry, this Hollywood industry, and that, most people don't have these opportunities.
Absolutely. I think in the business, the things that people will or may or may not associate with specifically the Vietnamese culture, which is also kind of linked with the Chinese culture, because our waters run very similar with each other, even though they're very different. Vietnamese are very different from Chinese, but we get looped together. The only successes we've heard of that become household names are things like sriracha, right? Sriracha happens to be, Vietnamese, Chinese family. Things like Crustacean, which is a very famous Vietnamese restaurant that blew up now in LA, based out of San Francisco. There's not a lot of big Vietnamese successes out there. For you guys, what does it feel like to now put your family on blast when it comes to like the family that made it and have Ho become much more than what we've known that to mean out here in these streets? What is that like for you guys?
At first, Washington told me I was going to be in the background. Me and him have very opposite personalities, but I feel, I'm a little apprehensive. I don't know what to expect. I hope everybody has a positive feeling after they watch this. I just hope that we made our parents proud. We wouldn't be here without them. We wouldn't have this show without them. They are the embodiment of the American dream, and they are the ones that we aspire to. And I hope that everyone else can see that when they watch the show.
Absolutely. So what was life like for you guys growing up? For me, I grew up in the Bay Area, right? I am one of three kids. So my brothers are younger than me. I'm Jato. My Vietnamese name is Cam Tho, but obviously my mom had bigger dreams when she had me. She rushed herself to the hospital. My dad came in later on, so she happened to be in the hospital room bargaining with the doctors about which room is the cheapest so she can just have me and get out of there, because she thought it was like rent by hour. And as soon as her pain started kicking in, my dad told me when he walked in, he overheard my mom saying, "What the epidural for? I don't want to do. Why so expensive? My insurance, it'll cover that." And they're like, "Well, epidural is..."
So Vietnamese, that's how Vietnamese mom.
"It's recommended for you. We want to save you from the pain." And she said, "No, I don't pay for that. You put the TV on, turn something, and make me forget." So she turned on Dream of Jeannie, I Dream of Jeannie, the series. And I was born. And so because she dreamed of having a daughter and she was watching a show that saved her money from an epidural, I got named Jeannie. So, right. So from then on, my life in San Jose has been purely Vietnamese. And when I say this with utmost pride, because my entire identity is my culture, even though I am an American. So as soon as my parents had stable jobs, they sponsored over the rest of the family from Vietnam that weren't able to come over. So we had 15 people living in a 3-bedroom home. My mom hustled on the side as a wedding singer while my dad worked, as an engineer in one of the companies that started up before Google and things like that when the .com hit. My aunts ran a sewing business in the garage right next to the pots when we ate lao and things like that smelled too strong to cook in the kitchen. We had Paris by Night every night playing on TV. If anybody knows, shout out to Vietnamese people out there who knows what the Paris by Night series was. And I spoke hardcore Vietnamese up until I was 7 years old because my mom did not want me to become so American that I forgot my culture. Through that, I really learned how to stand up for myself, learned how to stand up for my culture. And even though I am proud of being Vietnamese, I'm that girl who does not know how to cook rice. I know good pho, but I can't make it. I did not do well in school. I hated school, and I absolutely loved making out with boys, even though my parents were like so strict and down my neck about who I was dating. So just give me a tidbit of like what your life was like. What was it like for the host?
I remember for us growing up, I remember my first memory is that my parents had a convenience store. When they first came to America, my dad was a gas attendant and my mom was a lunch lady at a college. So that's how humble their beginnings are. Obviously, they didn't speak English. I mean, me and Washington were in ESL until we were 3rd grade. And I didn't even understand that ESL was like, people laugh at us about it.
Yeah.
When we graduated from it, I was like, oh, we were the only ones in that class. So by the time we were 7 or 8, they had a convenience store. Mm-hmm. And every Saturday and Sunday, we would drive to the store and check up on it. We were counting the coupons. We were like at the end of the week, they would collect the money, and I'm like counting the dollar bills and putting the wrapper in it so they could go to the bank, rolling the quarters in those little brown paper bags.
Yeah.
Yeah. So me in Washington, I remember every Monday, that's what we did, because that was
forgot about the Twinkie. You always had to go home with the Twinkie.
Oh, when we went to the convenience store, mom and dad were like, you can pick whatever you want. So we thought we got made, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, we're good. Buffet. So after one convenience store, my parents started buying more and more. And after a few, they opened a supermarket. And then my dad started getting into real estate. It was really dangerous in Houston back then. The convenience stores, they were getting a lot of robberies. And one of the employees died. And then my parents were like, this is too dangerous for us. We're going to get out of it. Because it was open 24 hours. And it was always in these really ghetto neighborhoods where there's a lot of crime.
That's where you make the money.
I know. They would take the cigarettes and take them out and sell them one by one.
Yeah, that's
where it's illegal to do that.
That's an Tina's job. She was Department of CIA.
Aunt Tina had a liquor store back then.
Yeah, store. Yeah.
Talk about your liquor store.
I was growing up. I was not even 18 yet, and then her mom started working at Utah. And I asked my brother, her dad. I said, I want to work. I said, no, you cannot work because parents, our parents would not let you work. It's too dangerous. You're a girl. I said, no, that's okay. I'm 18. I can do that. So I asked her mom, can I train in her shop? She's a trainer manager at a Utah. That's where we get close. And then, a weekend I go to school, and a weekend I spend at her night at her mom apartment, so I can go to work with her in the morning because we don't have a car drive. So I always have to crash at their house and then work for the weekend with her mom, try to help her mom out just to make extra money.
And how old were you then at that time, Aunt Tina?
That's in an 80.
Were you a teenager? Were you in your early 20s?
I just turned 18. Because you have to be 18 to sell beer.
But when you came to the U.S.,
when I came to the United States, I was at 13, go to 14. Mm-hmm. And we come from a rich family, so my parents don't let children go to work because everything is dangerous. The only thing, my brother, because he married, so he can have his own family. But everything, no, you cannot do that. He actually had to drive me to go to work. And they picked me up because he said, this is dangerous, but I did determined to make my own money so I can spend on my clothes and my fashion.
Yes, girl. Yes, of course you did.
I'm just against all the rules, the Asian rules. And I think I'm the only one.
And Tina, are you, because obviously we know from watching the show and just seeing you, you're obviously your own individual. You don't even, come off as the average Asian, let alone a Vietnamese woman. Are you the black sheep in your family? What's your mom like? What are the people around you like in your family?
Totally opposite of what I am. I'm just me. When I was 16, I want to do my own thing. My mom said no. My dad always said, oh my God, if you act like that, you're never going to get married. Nobody want to marry you. I said, who cares? Why do I want to get married? Why do I have to do that, do this? Why? So what? If they don't like that, their loss. I can find my own thing.
Exactly. Yes.
No, you may not talk like that. The Vietnamese girl, you're supposed to be humble. You're supposed to be nice. I said, for what?
For who?
I don't want to live like that. I don't know why. It's going to be, the end of the day, it's going to be my life. It's the guy that I'm going to sleep with, not somebody else that tell me who to sleep with and how to sleep with.
And how to sleep with.
And I said, oh my God, simmer down.
No, you're right. You're right. And you remind me of this famous quote by Cher. I'm probably misquoting it a tiny bit, but Cher was asked, what kind of rich, successful man would she want to date? And she said, I am a rich, successful man. And I think that's that's such a powerful reminder that we are whatever that title should be. And it doesn't have to be with gender. And so when you came over here, Aunt Tina, most people know the boat people story where you immigrate here via boat or escape communism. For you, what was that journey like?
I thought it's a trip. It's just a vacation.
So you came on by boat as well?
Yep. And we prepared just like we're on vacation. I remember my mom, in April, it's not even summer yet. And she said, let's go to the beach house, to the beach place. That's where my sister, play stay. I said, in April? I said, oh yeah. we rich. We can take off school anytime. I said, you sure school does that? They said, yeah. So I'm so happy that they say, no more school for you. That's it. You have a summer. And he said, be sure, pack what you like. Pack some kind of pajama, whatever you like to wear around. Guess what I packed?
What'd you pack?
Book clothes, all books.
Really?
I read novels, I read comics, I collect all my money in my allowance, I buy books, and my book is my fortune. It's my
So you're supposed to pack light to keep this boat afloat, and you packed books?
books. My favorite book, my favorite novels.
How
And
sweet.
with that, we have maids. So the maid carries the bag to the car, and I walk in, and my mom doesn't know what's going on. I think she expects everybody to carry clothes.
Wait a minute. I can't picture the idea of being wealthy, but also escaping by boat. Did your guys' boat look a little bit more like a Royal Caribbean? Like, how was your boat
Not a normal
shaped?
boat.
Like a yacht?
It's not a normal boat. My brother-in-law, he's the captain of the ship, the warship.
Navy.
Okay, so he pretty much control. So that ship is gonna be our place, or another word is more like our trailer. That's where we're gonna carry.
Okay, yeah. Your shelter.
We don't escape with ourselves. We have maid, we have TV, we have furniture,
Animals.
we have antique, we have everything.
It's like an ark.
It's like Noah's Ark.
Like the whole art. Yeah. We use that as a thing because we already know. But we try to make it we try to make it very low profile because we cannot just go get a plan or buy a boat because that's not good.
Because my dad trained in America in 68 and 71 for the war. So our family, because my grandfather was a political lobbyist, they had some information what was going to happen.
You prepared to
And
leave.
my dad's younger sister, the second one, Koto, was married to this Navy ship captain. So my family hustled him and said, hey, you need to park that ship right here. My
We
dad's
use
like,
the
you
ship
said.
for us.
So basically, they put mom in there,
Yeah.
and they put sugar in the mom, so like all the cousins wouldn't eat that. That's how my grandma is. She's like, I'm gonna put sugar in the fish sauce, so you don't touch my fish sauce.
Yes.
So that's
Oh, God. She's Petty Crocker original right there. That is so awesome. My
I
God.
don't hear from the new hoe right here, though.
But it's
No,
so
mine
funny.
really didn't
Hey,
look
Jeannie,
like that.
Jeannie Mai, it's the funny part is when we get on the boat, and guess what? My mom, she put everybody in little container with gold in there, in our backpack. And I will carry. I said, "This is too heavy. I don't want to carry this." I throw it back. My mom said, "Pick that bag up and keep walking." I said, "Oh my God, I do not want to carry back. Why don't you just tell one of those maid carry it for me? Because I do not. Because I already have book. I don't want that." And I almost pulled a container. The silky gold. I don't know if you know that. Everybody have some of them in there. I almost throw it out. It's too heavy. I didn't even know where the hell going. I thought, why do we want to? That's kind of milk. I don't want that.
And Tina, I really can't wait till you meet my mom, Mama Mai, someday, because she has a similar story. When she escaped, she also was tricked because she was the youngest, and Vietnamese parents, they treat the boys and the girls very differently. The girls, they're just like, let's keep you safe and unscared because you're going to cause more of a ruckus, not realizing we could be absolute assets to an escape, would be so clever. But my mom, she was given sleeping pills, so through the 2 days at sea, she just slept the majority of the time. So she doesn't remember the treacherous waves and things that my uncles had to navigate. But my grandmother hid bars of gold, 1 ounce each, inside of her sandals. And my mom didn't know. So when they were rescued by the U.S. Navy, the U.S. Navy took off their shoes and gave them like comfortable clothing to wear and pajama pants. So my mom's sitting there trying to figure out how to eat a pancake for the first time that they served her. And my grandmother came over and said, "Hey, Mai, cái giày của mày đâu rồi?" Which is in Vietnamese means like, "Yo, where are your sandals?" And she's like, "I don't know, ông mì trắng lấy rồi." Like, the white guys took it. They took it away. The way my grandmother flipped out and went up to every single sailorman to say, "Where are the shoes?" And they were like, "Okay, she wants the shoes. Get the shoes. Where's the kids' shoes?" They all went dumpster diving to look for all the rags and the clothes that they had thrown off because they put my family in nice clothing. Sure enough, dug up the sandals. My grandfather pried it open with a screwdriver and saw 1 ounce of gold and took the sandal and hit my mom with it in front of her. Which I'm not going to translate. If you're Vietnamese, you'll just
My
know.
mom said the same thing. Just shut
Yeah, exactly.
But carry on. I said, no, I don't want. And I pulled it out and put it, boom. And I hear the big noise. And then she started looking around because we have maid, we have servant, we have like all kind of the Navy people, the sailor. We don't want them attention because they only know us travel.
Exactly.
Rich and all that stuff.
Exactly. I think it's really important to really acknowledge the journey of the Vietnamese family. Even when you're American born, like myself, there is a reason why the hustle is so hard. There is a reason why this survival mentality is ingrained in us. We do not take anything for granted. We absolutely love to save and preserve. Family comes first. But that journey and that escape for all of us is what initiates that and is planted as a seed. But with you guys being so beautiful and successful, it's very important to remember why the hoes became what they are and how you guys stick together as a successful unit as you do today. So I'm going to take a break, but when we come back, I want to talk about what it looks like to be a hoe today, and talk about what your daily lifestyle is and how your life has changed now that you're doing this show. So I've been trying to get a lot more holistic with all the products in my house, from things I eat to even beauty items that I use. But I can't nail a good tasting natural toothpaste. They always taste so weird and funky. I don't like it when they're made out of flavors that are not mentholated. And they don't leave my teeth feeling super clean. So I am thrilled to tell you about Himalaya Botanique, which I just found out about. And it's a natural toothpaste that ditches the SLS and the artificial flavors, but it feels so good, leaves your mouth feeling super clean, and it's free from fluoride, SLS, and artificial colors, like I said, and flavors. But unlike other similar toothpaste, they don't compromise on flavor or performance. So Himalaya toothpaste is always bursting with foam and flavor. I love it. The best part, you can get 20% off your first purchase on Amazon with my discount code, Jeannie20. Hit up Amazon and enjoy 20% off your first purchase of Himalaya Botanique toothpaste using code Jeannie20 when you check out at Amazon. So something most people don't know about me is that I used to have terrible sleep patterns and bad eczema. This was like maybe 15 years ago. And it wasn't until I actually found this random friend who could do an allergy test on me that I learned I was celiac. I couldn't eat gluten, and I also was allergic to certain ways flour was used in badly processed foods. And as soon as I learned this from this allergy test, I was free of my eczema. I haven't had eczema since. I also have a much better digestive system. But I have to say that this allergy test was really tedious to take. I had to take blood samples. I had to go to this clinic all the way in Venice Beach, which was 45 minutes from my house. I had to wait so long for the results. And I have the 2.0 version now that anybody can use from anywhere you are. So it's Everlywell. Everlywell offers over 30 plus at-home lab tests like food sensitivity, thyroid health, metabolism, testosterone tests, and more. And each Everlywell test is shipped to your door and comes with easy to follow instructions. So you can collect your sample from your own home, which I so wish I could have done years ago. And once you send your sample back, it's processed in a certified lab. So your results are reviewed by a board-certified physician, then they're sent directly to you digitally within days, and you can even share them with your healthcare provider so you don't have to remember all the details. So the Everlywell digital platform helps break down exactly what your results mean for you. This is the perfect thing for everybody to just get a better read on their health needs and then start living a better, healthier life. For 20% off an Everlywell at-home lab test, visit everlywell.com/Jeannie and enter code Jeannie. That's everlywell.com/Jeannie, code Jeannie, Jeannie, for 20% off your test. Everlywell at-home lab tests. Your answers, your way. I don't know about the rest of you all, but when it comes to holiday gifts this year, I'm trying to be a lot more intentional. I think everybody has Marie Kondo'd their home and they're trying to get rid of, the things that they don't need in the house, realizing that they're spending money buying things that have been useless and just sitting around. So my gifts this year need to be much more useful and purposeful, which is why I want to tell you guys about Skillshare. Because to me, Skillshare is the most useful gift you could possibly give to anyone. So Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people like myself and my fam listeners. You can explore new skills, you can deepen existing passions, or just get lost in creativity. I know for me, I'm always on the gram And I've never really been taught the proper way to take a picture. I've just taken pictures based off my own, shoot and click experience, trial and error. But when Skillshare offered photography classes and just learning how to get more creative with, marketing, I thought, oh my God, this is a class I should take. And when I did, it just became such a hit in my personal life because I started using the skills that I learned. So Skillshare is perfect for anybody who's wanted to expand or maybe take on, learning something, but you don't have time to actually go to school. You don't have the means to maybe, hire a trainer or someone in that profession. So this is the perfect opportunity to learn, broaden your skills, but do it from home. Skillshare is an online community that offers membership with meaning. You give a gift that's one of a kind, completely personalized, or perfectly imperfect. When you put time and effort and creativity into a gift, people know so much more how much you care. So explore your creativity at Skillshare.com/Jeannie and get a free trial of premium membership. That's Skillshare.com/Jeannie, JEANNIE. So welcome back, everybody. Clearly, I am just right here joined with Leslie, Washington, Judy, and Aunt Tina from House of Ho. I am so honored to have you guys here. You guys are an exciting breakthrough in television today, the first of many things. So for you guys, what is your life like right now? I know the show is going to be explosive, and by the time this podcast airs, everybody will have known about it. But so far, what has the buzz been like? Because the Asian community is very quiet, and we're not very showy. And we like to hide from the government and from the judgment of other people. So what has this been like from you guys? Yeah, especially for you, Les, because you're new to you're new to the newest to the family, but also new to this television world.
Right. It's been a shock for me. I mean, I still work 40 hours a week, and I still work now. So, I mean, to me, it's been, hair and makeup while I'm working, and then running in between meetings to film and to do interviews. So it's been a little bit crazier.
Absolutely. When you obviously got married to Washington, you didn't think that there was ever going to be this as the next transition to your life with him, right? Like you never pictured a television show.
I was trying to get it normal. Like I just wanted a normal, and I was trying to get him to be normal, just a normal husband.
Wait, which part of normal did you think you were going to get out of this man you married? I'm not sure. He's very everything but normal.
I know. Nothing but normal. No.
She's from Oklahoma. Oh, I gotta say.
Exactly. That's what I like.
Got it. So you being thrown into this is as fortunately for us, part of the humor that we get to see from House of Ho. So for you, what is it like to marry into the Ho family? For those of us who don't know this experience, what was it like meeting Washington? And then what is that transition like becoming a Ho? And what does that mean? Like, what does that become for you that you weren't before?
Well, when I first met Washington, he's larger than life, that was how some of our dating world was larger than life. Everything was.
Give me an example. Give us the Cinderella story. We all want to know. What's it like dating a rich man?
So on dates, I just graduated pharmacy school. I still had loans to pay, and I was very independent. I still am very independent. I wanted to pay everything by myself. I was going to let no man pay for, no, you can have your Chanel bag back. But our date nights.
Wait, we give it back?
Yeah, well, he'd let me carry. Yeah, give it back. Because I didn't want to feel indebted. We weren't engaged, we weren't married. I felt like, okay, that's such a huge amount. I think a Chanel bag, I would save up for a Tory Burch bag.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was so big for me at the time. And so a Chanel bag, I was just like, oh my gosh, it's just so much. I didn't want to feel indebted to somebody that I wasn't engaged to or, married to. And I didn't want to feel like I was a gold digger. And I didn't want that, because I worked so hard to be a pharmacist. And I worked so hard through school that I did not want that attached to me. Dating a guy and then carrying his, whatever. So our date nights, he would send me off to, he'd tell me to go to Tootsie's, this little boutique. And he'd have the stylist there, and he'd called ahead of time, and I got new dresses and shoes. I know, the sweetest.
That's so romantic. Wait, a man who buys things for you is one thing, but a man who kind of styles you and buys them for you is a whole nother enchilada.
I would be surprised every date because he'd have something planned, and I had no idea what it was. Because we were dating long distance. I was living in Dallas at the time, would come down here every other weekend to see him.
And he would I would, go to Tootsie's first, and his stylist there would know what our date was going to be. So whether it was like, hiking, it was like cute, or we went to the rodeo once and I had a cute little cowboy outfit. So whatever, it was just so fun, because I didn't know what the date was. And then I could kind of guess with the outfits and, just dressing up. But
Washington, you're so romantic. This is blowing me away right here. This is awesome.
Yeah, I was, totally, thinking this is marriage material from the time I met her. I was a little scared at first and apprehensive. But I, when she moved here, I knew that she believed in me. And, at the time, with whatever I had to at least shower her or let her know I love her.
Right.
I just needed her to be a little patient with me.
Wow. And I imagine the reason why you got a little nervous, tell me if I'm wrong, but I imagine if you are as fun and outgoing as you are and people know that you're wealthy, then lots of women will just kind of make themselves available to you. But it sounds like for Leslie, she was independent. She wasn't accepting everything with thirst. She seemed like she was really, humble about what you were giving her, but also like still, she's like, I'm on my path. Don't sway me from what I've accomplished for myself. So that kind of, it makes her such a much more aspirational person as a woman and as a partner in your life.
Right. I mean, I had to respect that she could be patient enough to, be independent and take care of herself. I remember one of our first conversations before she moved to Houston, and I hadn't dated a Vietnamese girl in my life. Whatever the ones that tell people that, we were just like dating, but this was a girlfriend. And what I found out was that, number one, she didn't need me financially. I said, look, if you're my girlfriend, I'm trying to build this company right now. And, Obama's the president, Obamacare came out. My Cobra's me $1,500 a month. Please let me be your dependent. And, I'll let you be my dependent. And since I lost so much money before, you'll get the tax credits. And my wife goes, what do you mean? And I was like, well, like if we're successful together financially, my dad said that's a bonus. I know you're going to be a good mother. Your mother has sacrificed a lot for you. Your brother and sister have to go to school. Your father is such a great guy. I've met him. He is very proud of his kids. And your parents, they worked hard, but after you guys graduated college, they did the same thing as my parents. They laid off a little bit on their business so that they could spend time with y'all. And, because she was financially independent, it was just a bonus. And I thought we could build a future together. And, that's what she's done, and I'm grateful for it.
Absolutely. It looks like you guys are doing a great job. I mean, especially to be able to take on to be a reality television personality that can add a strain to a lot of relationships. So for you guys to have started out and really built that foundation, that's gonna be very key as you guys become very famous and known for this show. And what about for you, Judy? Like, what has life been like for you? I know this is still the early stages, but once this starts to crack open, are you afraid of any criticism? Have people, given you the side eye or any shade for becoming a reality star?
Well, the show just came out today, so it's probably too early for that. But I'm a much more private person than Washington. I didn't really do social media until this show. Like a few days ago, I started promoting the show. Before that, I had no social media presence. So far, we've only had good feedback. I'm not afraid of criticism because I already know the person that I am. I spoke my truth. I put it out there on the show, and I can live with that. So whatever anybody else will say, that's none of my business.
And what do you guys think about like when it comes to stereotypes? Either stereotypes for being Vietnamese or stereotypes for being wealthy? What kind of stereotypes have you faced, and maybe that you're looking forward to breaking by just being who you are on this show?
I think people always assume that I'm just this spoiled little rich girl, very entitled and snooty, and that, I don't talk to other people. I just think I'm an introvert. I'm pretty shy. So I think, but on the show, you forget that the cameras are there after a while. So I really did open up a lot. And
you really have a likable personality on the show. Like, I don't get any of that at all.
I just hope that, they can see that I'm not what they would assume of me. I went through law school. I went to a really good school. I'm just like, I was more than anything, I was just like a nerdy little Asian girl. And, perhaps some people saw that as just me being quiet, as being standoffish, but I don't think I am that type of person.
Right. And as far as dating, like what box would you check? Searching, satisfied and single.
I have a boyfriend and I'm very satisfied.
And do we know him? I haven't gotten to that part of the show yet.
I think he starts on about episode 3.
Oh, you dragged his to it too? I love it.
I didn't drag him on there.
The whole way, baby. I hooked her up.
No, I didn't drag him on there because I said, if you're not going to do the show, then they're going to have me single and dating on this show. He's like, sign me up.
Nice.
I was like, this is going to be an Asian bachelorette if you don't do the show. So he was like, I'm on. Yeah.
So guys, for a lot of our fans out here who've never watched a reality series that has to do with around an Asian family, and we got to get to know the hoes better, like tell us, why should we watch this show? What is the best part about this that
Number 1, hot Asian girl. Number 2, you get to see love, drama, sorrow, sadness, and then when you're done with the show, you're gonna have so much hope in your life, whether it comes from business or love or relationships with your family. And for me, that's what I like to see when I watch a reality show.
I think we really need a show like this, especially during this time of COVID, where everything is just 2020 has just been crazy. So I think to see like a family come from rags to riches, and then not just the wealth, but just overall family. And I hope people can relate to that now being at home and away from their family so much. I didn't get to go home for Thanksgiving or Christmas. So to not see your family so often, I know so many people feel that same way. I think seeing our show kind of brings a sense of family, especially during this time.
Absolutely. Well, I know for me, not only does it excite me personally to see another Vietnamese family rise and be able to share what our culture is like, but I really love just the authenticity of your characters. I can see that you guys are exactly what we saw on TV, the hot mess and everything included. And also for many cultures that are similar to the Vietnamese culture, the biggest problem and opportunity for us to work on is to stop being so perfect. A lot of Asian families, all families of any background have the same issues, whether it's family disagreements, financial stress, dating outside the race, dating within the race, and the judgment from the family, people making mistakes, even things like illnesses and addictions. All of it is hidden in Asian families. And personally, the reason why I have this podcast and also my Hello Hunnay series, it's because I want to make sure that people know, like, even though Jeannie Mai is whatever you see on The Real or Dancing with the Stars, I'm not perfect. And my mom's that crazy. And because of that, we are authentic to each other and we own our truths and we want to get better from the ways that we've been raised. Just because you were raised a certain way doesn't mean that that's the only way it should stay for generations to come. There are adjustments that you guys will make from what your parents did, things that you will embrace from what your parents taught you, and then turn around and bring out beautiful people to kind of mix in our society, along with the hilariousness we're going to see about your crazy selves on the show. So I'm really thankful that you guys decided to do this. I wish you the best of luck. Where can people follow you individually as we fall in love with you through the show?
You can follow me at Washington Ho on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm Judy Ho on Instagram.
Aunt Tina, who just started her page today. It's Aunt Tina, but then there's 3 A's on the end, triple A, because
like Antina.
Yeah.
I got it, you guys. Of course I do. Well, know that you have all the utmost love and support from me here. And one day, when this COVID thing is over, I'm going to get our families together, okay? That'll be a whole nother show of its own.
yes,
Thank you guys for being a part of this. And for my fam out there, please do check out House of Ho on HBO Max. And do follow these guys on Instagram. And do rate and review this episode, because if you want to see more behind the scenes with the House of Ho, maybe we can have them back as we watch the episodes and get to know the real truth behind the scenes. Thank you guys so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Listen, honey, listen, honey. Listen, honey, listen, honey. Listen, honey, listen, honey.